the quorum. So we're going to ask, who do we have? We're going to ask, our new chief, Dr. Robert Wallace, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So would someone like to make a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion to adopt.
Second. All right, we have a first by Board Member Mays, and we have a second by Board Member Elrod and Board Member O'Hara Block. All of those in favor to adopt the agenda as written? All right, that is a unanimous vote. Now we will move on to awards and recognitions and turn it over to Dr. Battle.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair Nabal McKinney, and good evening, board members. Good evening to those of you who've joined us this evening for our board meeting. We've got a lot of outstanding students, coaches, educators, principals, principal leaders, support hub staff to recognize tonight. So if y'all don't mind, I'll jump right in. First up is our new partnership between the Overton Cluster and the Nashville Zoo. For many years, we've had a strong partnership between Croft Middle School and the zoo. And now we've expanded that to the entire Overton Cluster with the mission of ensuring that all students will be able to connect classroom learning to real life through their experiences at the zoo. Many of our Overton Cluster principals are here with us in the audience tonight, and I'll ask them to stand and represent their cluster for a moment so we can see who you are if you represent the Overton Cluster. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you all so much. Our principals are going to be doing a lot of standing and clapping and celebrating tonight. So using a conservation mindset, this collaboration will give students and teachers unique experiences and authentic standards-based interdisciplinary learning that connects their classrooms to the real world. With this vision in mind, we will launch the Wildlife Research Scholars Program next month for all schools in the Overton Cluster. We plan for the Overton Cluster students to visit, work with, and engage with zoo staff multiple times throughout their K-12 experience. Students at Overton High School will have expanded access to interdisciplinary research projects, and zoo programming will be more integrated into the Academies of Nashville's pathways at Overton as well. This opportunity will offer ongoing professional learning opportunities for our students, and that will start with a big one. Because tonight we are sharing news around two of our very own educators, Greg Smith, interdisciplinary science and research instructor at Overton High School, and Sarah Honeycutt, manager of our experiential learning for cluster support, will be traveling to Africa with scientists from the zoo to study the ecosystem in the forests and the grasslands of northwestern Zimbabwe and northeastern Botswana, with a focus on flora and fauna as well as geology, culture, and conservation. Y'all, this is a big deal. We are thrilled to have launched this ambitious partnership with our friends and collaborators at the Nashville Zoo, and we're looking forward to all the great experiences and learning that are coming up for our students and our educators. So I'd like to welcome up Greg and Sarah, as well as our science team here at the Support Hub, all of our Overton Cluster principals, plus Roger Tobert and Thacia Bell from the Nashville Zoo to come up. Let us celebrate you, let us thank you, and congratulate you on this wonderful partnership. So if all of you would come to the front for me, I greatly appreciate it.
Hey, how are you? Good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's exciting. I just want to go in their suitcase.
This is all Overton cluster? Oh, they're deep. And that's all a lot of them in there. So a lot of her schools are level by nice.
So the zoo could have brought that.
Giraffe.
Would have made a great photo. The zoo could have brought animal. I mean, made a better photo.
Could you imagine that them walking and animal in here?
Chicken was
They brought chicken.
someone brought it to you, like a Hilky chicken. So like what which is like a pocket and it was in a purse.
Oh, wow. I'm sure you all have had some wild foods for sure.
We're special.
Thank you again to our Overton cluster team as well as our colleagues at the zoo. There are many more details and plans in the works, and it's going to be exciting to see those start rolling out in the next few weeks. If they'd had one more seat, I would have been going to Zimbabwe. One more seat. You would have, okay. So again, congratulations. I'm also excited tonight to recognize a group of students who made a really fun video with a great message when they were students at Margaret Allen Middle School. Let's check out the video first.
It's coming.
First one in the classroom. I'm gonna get y'all in the classroom. I'm serious, I don't play in the classroom.
Oh, that's right.
Listen to school for many reasons, including illnesses, lack of transportation, work, homelessness, and family responsibility. Families understand the importance of education, however, they may not realize how quickly attendance in school can add up. Attendance is an important life skill that will help students graduate from high school, college, and keep a job. In fact, attendance school is a child's first job where one's work ethic is developed. School attendance communities can work together to improve the attendance and support the needs of families and students. I'm gonna be like in the classroom.
I know that's right. I need her to hype me up in the morning. I love that.
So I love to see students encouraging their peers to do the right thing and to be in school. Like they say, it's in the classroom where good things happen every day. And efforts like this do make a difference. In the 23-24 school year, we saw a district-wide attendance rate, our district-wide attendance rate go up by 1.5 percentage points from the previous year, while chronic absenteeism went down by almost 6 percentage points. Satisfactory attendance and perfect attendance both increased. And those trends continue to hold up so far in the 24-25 school year. Attendance matters, as we often say, and our students, families, teachers, and support staff know it well. So we invited 5 of the students you saw in the video to be here with us tonight, and I'd like to recognize them. They're all in high school now, so they might be a bit taller than they were when they made their video. So students, as I call your name, please come up to the podium here and face this appreciative audience, and then we'll get a group photo. Let's start with Nabol Bowl. Are you here with us? Okay. Kayla Crawford, are you here? Come on up, let us celebrate you. Adam Galaghini, if you're here, come on up. Okay. Jemiah Welton. Justin Whalum, come on up. And Ariana Dixon, if you're here, come on up. I must say, I saw this video, and if you watch any of the shows that are on TV now, you understand where this segment came from. So I'm super, super proud of our students. Dr. Cal Brown, please come on up with this team. Dr. Brown leads our attendance efforts every day, incentivizing just great opportunities like this for our students, for us to hear from our students, to lift their voices around some of the focused outcomes and achievements we want to see on behalf of our students. So students, we're super proud of you. Thank you for working together and producing, putting this video together. So we're going to get a quick picture, and if everybody would just please, after we get this picture, stand to your feet and let's just give it up for our young people. So let's get a quick picture first. Is it you? Is it you?
And what?
Y'all, let's stand to our teachers. Again, thank you to our students and to all of our leaders and educators, supportive staff for promoting good attendance. We know it makes a difference. Now, I want to turn our attention to last month's TSSAA State Cross Country Meet, where we not only had one of the top teams, but also several of our student athletes placed in the top 10 individually out of hundreds of runners who were competing. Students, as I call your names or the name of your team, please come up to the podium again and face this admiring audience, and then we'll get a photo of the winning team and a photo of our individual winners at the end. So in the boys' meet, Martin Luther King Jr. Academic Magnet High School's boys team brought home a trophy as the state runner-ups. Congratulations to all the boys cross-country team members and coaches at MLK on a tremendous performance. So our MLK boys team, come on up. Bring that hardware on to the front. All right, so since the MLK boys team is already here, if I call your name, just wave your hand so we can acknowledge you. Everyone that's here and everyone who's watching, this is a really big deal. Corbin Lewis of MLK finished 4th out of 255 runners in the state meet. Wyatt Bowling, another MLK runner, finished 8th. So again, congratulations to the MLK boys team, also to Corbin and Wyatt for a job well done. Stay put, don't leave us yet. And in the girls' meet, Karen Sikaron of Hume Fogg Academic Magnet High School took home 9th place out of 243 runners. So we want to give a huge congratulations to all of our winning cross-country runners. We want to celebrate you. Continue to represent your respective schools and Metro Nashville Public Schools in a tremendous way. We're going to capture a couple of photos before you transition. But again, congratulations to our athletes, coaches, and your families. We have anybody from the respective facilities, please come up and join us for the
You'll have to ask for a motion.
I'm good. We didn't put it at the top at all.
Approve the agenda.
Maybe I shouldn't vote for everyone.
All right, again, congratulations to Hume Fogg and MLK. I'm going to transition now to our recent TSSAA regional meetings. The recent TSSAA regional meetings were good for MNPS. Our principals and our people's names kept cropping up, all for the right reasons. So I want to recognize a few of you. If I call your name, please come up to the podium as well so that we can recognize you. The first recognition I want to give, I believe this principal was not able to join us tonight, but that is Dr. Schaefer, the executive principal of James Lawson High School. He was elected to serve on the TSSAA Board of Control. Again, Principal Schaefer couldn't be here with us tonight, but we congratulate him and thank him for serving and representing MNPS. Next is a coach who has won a lot of awards over the past year after his Firebirds won the football state championship in 2023, and that is Coach Tony Brunetti of Pearl Cone High School. He was named the 2023-24 TSSAA Athletic District 5 Male Coach of the Year.
Let's go Firebirds!
Thank you for coming up, Coach Brunetti. That wave wasn't going to work this week. And I know we'll be celebrating this soon, but we also just announced our Hume Award winner from Pearl Cone High School just on yesterday. So you'll be back. We also have two MNPS high schools that were honored by the TSSAA for their commitment to sportsmanship at school and playing on the field and courts across the state. First up is Stratford High School, which was one of the 27. Stratford High School was one of 27 statewide finalists for the A.F. Bridges Award for displaying overall positive effort to teach, expect, and demand a positive atmosphere of sportsmanship. Again, congratulations to all the Stratford student athletes, to the coaches, to the teachers, support staff, and to Principal Michael Pratt and your team. Congratulations. And out of those 27 finalists, 3 schools won the A.F. Bridges State Award of Excellence, which TSSAA describes as the highest award that can be bestowed upon a school to honor its overall efforts to promote citizenship and sportsmanship at school and at athletic contests. Well, one of those 3 State Award of Excellence winners is our very own East Nashville Magnet High School. Congratulations to everyone at East, the student athletes, the coaches, the entire team, and Principal Myra Taylor, and everyone in your community. And thank you to both East and Stratford for representing our district so well on and off the field. Each school received $1,500 from TSSAA for its respective athletic programs. So congratulations. Don't run off. We want to get a quick photo, but let's give it up for all the schools that are represented. Again, congratulations and thank you to everyone we've recognized tonight. Chair Nabob McKinney, with that, I will bring closure to awards and recognitions and turn it back over to you.
Thank you and congratulations again to all of the awardees. Please give them another round of applause. And with that, we will move on to the director's report and turn it back over to you again, Dr. Battle.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair Nabob McKinney. At this time, I'd like to welcome up our Executive Officer of Research Assessment and Evaluation, Dr. Tina Stinson. She will be walking us through our director's report this evening. But before she comes, I think it's very befitting that this room is filled with our talented and just excellent leaders from across the district tonight. There will be a few moments throughout this presentation where we will acknowledge their great work. So in advance, principals, principal supervisors, those who represent the support hub or any community within Metro Nashville Public Schools, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for leading with such excellence. We're going to be telling the story of our triumph this evening and closing the chapter of this first book and then moving on to the next. But Tina will kind of put a bow on our results for the 23-24 school year as we continue to trail positive paths for the future. So Dr. Stinson, please take it away.
Thank you, Dr. Battle, Madam Vice President, and school board members. As always, we'd like to start with this slide to show that our signature initiatives are rooted in our 4 core tenets. And our focused outcomes come from the combination of those 2 things. We're going to be talking mainly about literacy and numeracy tonight, but also a little bit of transition. In the spirit of putting a bow on things, I'm going to recap some data because it has not come out as quickly as one might have liked. I can barely remember what I have presented at which time. So I'm going to do a little bit of a recap and then go into some new data. The first thing to recap, and I talked about this last time, is our graduation rate is the highest it has ever been in recorded history. And a higher percentage of MNPS students reached meeting or exceeding proficiency in 2024 than they did in 2023 for every tested category. Now, finally able to tell you that for integrated math 1, 2, and 3 as well. The TCAP EOC scores improved in every content area overall as well, and we'll get into some grade level data. 1-year TCAP end of course integrated math scores across grades 7 through 12 equaled or surpassed that of the state for all 3 of the 3 integrated math subjects. Integrated math 1, 2, and 3. And we equaled or surpassed the state for 5 of 7 TCAP achievement or EOC subjects. And I'm going to whip through some of these quickly and spend a little more time on what you have not seen. This was, again, last time I was here, our graduation rate improved 1 year and 4 years for every student group. Take a look at the rate of some of those changes. I'm not going to read them to you since I did last time. Again, you've seen this, but it's been a while. TCAP 3 through 8, all 4 subject areas had really impressive and strong 1-year changes and 4-year changes were in the double digits for every single one of these content areas. The EOC proficiency percentages that you've seen are here. Again, improvement 1 year and 4 years for every one of these. And 2 of the 4 of these are at a greater rate than the state. And finally, our integrated math data. Take a look for a minute at the rightmost column, our 21 to 24 change, and look at the magnitude of that change. It is really impressive. And a good amount of that change came last year, but not all of it. It was slow and steady and then a big jump. And you can see 21.9% for integrated math 1, up from 6.6% right post-pandemic, and similarly, big gains for integrated math 2 and 3. I do want to point out that this change, as well as our math change in grades 3 through 8, is despite, or not despite, but comes at a difficult time because we have new standards, new assessment, new test items, and all of this happened in this year of all that new. I'm going to move on to TVAS growth celebrations at the system level. I'm going to be here for a while, so we got some celebrations. Our system-wide composite was level 5 for the 3rd time in a row. Ooh, and we have never seen that. In the history that since I've been here. We didn't used to have composites like way back in the day. This is unprecedented. There were level 5 scores in literacy, numeracy, and literacy plus numeracy for the 3rd time in a row. We have never seen 3 years in a row of that. And before the last 3 years, the last time we saw it was in 2014. So another big celebration. We had a level 5 in science for the 2nd year in a row and a level 5 in social studies overall. Switching to not tier, but 3 through 8, 4 through 8, and then high school data. For grades 4 through 8, we had level 5s in every subject area and in the composite. Literacy, numeracy, literacy plus numeracy, and social studies were level 5 for the 3rd year in a row. Thank you. Grade level data for literacy and for math were level 5 in grades, in 4 of the 5 grades. And I'm going to talk a minute about that. Science data were level 5 for every grade for the 2nd year in a row. And social studies scores were level 4 or 5 for all 3 of the middle school grades that generate those scores. Moving on to EOC, and of course, that is high school value added. System-wide, the score was level 5. Literacy was level 5, English 1 was level 5, and English 2 was level 5. Plus, literacy plus numeracy was level 5 as well, and numeracy alone kept pace with the state at level 3. And we'll spend a minute on the ACT slide, but the ACT composite growth was level 5 for every subject. And this is especially impressive because it represents growth throughout the students' high school careers, not just year to year. So you've seen most of this, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but here is grades 3 through 8 ELA and math. The growth measure and the growth measure percentile are the keys here for you to look at, and all of you can see this on the public site as well. Science and social studies, we're talking about scale score predicted gains from it's the predictive model. It's not NCEs, but scale scores. You can see level 5 for all 4 of the high school grades and 2 out of 3 of the social studies grades. And the other one was level 4, still above average growth. Here is the entirety of the EOC value added. Again, everything in the green, teal, and dark blue is something we want to celebrate. And we talked about this a little bit already. Growth measure percentiles off to the far right are an important thing here to be looking at. And this is, again, district-wide. And finally, on the district-wide value-added section of this presentation, we have our ACT value-added. And you can see not only are these all 5, level 5, the growth measure percentiles are outstanding, the lowest being 79th percentile and the highest being 96th. So we have 3 in the 90th percentile or above. That is really impressive. The growth measure in this particular case is in units, the ACT point units. And this is something you probably haven't seen before. We have for a few years gotten just level 1 through level 5 data on each of our student groups. This year is the first time we've ever been able to really dig in and look at the subject level value added by student group. And again, you can go into the public site and look at this for yourself. This slide represents our student groups with more than 15 or so students, which are very volatile. And you can see that for each of these student groups, we are at level 5 for every subject, or level 4 in 2 of these subjects for students with disabilities and economically disadvantaged. You can dig into this and look at it by grade level. But this really shows that our instruction is reaching across all of our student groups, and is very, very important to us to see that and have that validated. Okay, I'm going to move to school composites now from the district level. And you can see in the far left, the number of schools that are level 5 composite has gone up by 8 from last year. If you add levels 4 and level 5 together, that's plus 14. And if you add levels 3, 4, and 5, that's up 6 schools from 2023. Which means that 75% of our schools are meeting or exceeding average growth in a year. So this is really impressive, and it has increased by 7% from last year. This is just a slightly different view. Over on the left, you see literacy, numeracy, and then below the combined means literacy plus numeracy combined. And you see the numbers of schools with levels 5, 4, and 3, the total number, and then that total number is divided by 121 for the percentage of all schools. So you're seeing what the overall number of schools are with each of these 3 levels. In addition to that, over on the right, you'll see the percentage, the number rather, of schools with science value added at levels 5, 4, and 3. And we have not as many schools with social studies because it doesn't start until middle school. So 32 of them earned levels 3 to 5 out of 51 total. So what are some of our next steps for growth and achievement? fifth grade ELA and math, along with eighth grade in 2023, were the only 3 through 8 subjects that had less than a level 5. In 23-24, only the fifth grade had less than a level 5 for TVAS. But I want to say that that's in the context of having the greatest percentage increase in meeting or exceeding in the district. So our fifth grade students showed it with achievement. We're still working on the growth. And we're analyzing like already and still and intensively together data we're looking at the data and figuring this out. So one of the things we've decided to do is increase the support and development provided to school leaders, our subject level coaches, teachers for the 5 leadership plays. And it shows on the slide specifically which ones we're going to emphasize: collaborative planning, lesson delivery, student engagement, and monitoring for mastery. For EOC math support, we adopted the Open Up math curriculum last year, and will continue to provide PD support and curriculum support for principals focusing specifically on the integrated math courses. And academics in schools, or A&S, will continue to have collaboration between secondary teaching and learning with schools. And before I turn it over to Dr. Battle, I have one more slide. Our accountability status, advancing for the 3rd year in a row. And I said this to a group. I have been here for a while. I was here the last year Pedro Garcia was here. I came into a district in corrective action. And all kinds of negative consequences for that, where we have struggled to get 6 students over the line to proficiency, to not be in some kind of awful school status. I've never seen in my time here anything like this, and am very proud to work for a district that can achieve this for a 3rd year in a row. And I would bet that there are districts all over this state who are very envious of having this status for a 3rd year in a row. 21 district-run reward schools, which is up 3 from last year. We had 5 ATSI, or additional targeted support and improvement, exits. We have 3 still on the list, which is a pretty good place to be going into the next round of testing. Of our current priority schools, 11 of 18 were level 3 or higher in literacy and in math. And the 2 priority schools that exited last year, who I think I saw the principals here, earned level 5 overall statuses. And 100% of the priority schools that exited before that were level 3, level 4, or level 5 overall. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Battle for a moment, but I'm going to stand up here.
Again, it's not fair for myself and Tina to just gloat in this good news, this impressive outcomes. It's important to recognize the leaders who are leading the work every day in our schools. And I'm going to charge our leaders with making sure that for your teams, that you are acknowledging them and uplifting them as well. So I'm so proud to congratulate and acknowledge our 41 level 5 schools. So, you know, you don't always have 41. So we're going to take the time and I'm going to run through the 41 schools that are level 5 status. And I'm going to ask that the school principal and the executive director, as you hear your first school acknowledged, please stand because I want you to, again, just visually represent the greatness of Nashville Public Schools. I'm going to run through them quickly. So if you're here, please stand to be acknowledged. A.Z. Kelly, Bellevue, Cane Ridge Elementary, Croft Middle, DuPont Tyler Middle, Eagle View, Aiken, Early College High School, East Nashville High School, Glencliff Elementary, Glengarry, Goodlettsville, H.G. Hill, Hattie Cotton, Haynes, Head, Henry C. Maxwell, Hume Fogg High, Isaac Litton, J.E. Moss, Jerry Baxter Middle, Jolton, John Trotwood Moore, Jones Elementary, Lakeview Elementary, Madison Middle, Martin Luther King Jr. High, Shane Elementary, McGavick Elementary, Meigs Middle, Mount View Elementary, Nashville School of the Arts, Norman Binkley, Robert Churchwell, Stratford STEM Magnet Lore, Thomas Edison, Tusculum, Una, West End, and Whites Creek. And Granbury. Granbury, please stand up. Granbury, please stand up. My deepest apologies. It was just so many of you. Forgive me. I know. In fact, all right. So we had a number of schools who exited ATSI status, and this is also a tremendous accomplishment because it just means we're moving in the right direction. So I want to congratulate our additional targeted support and improvement exit schools, or ATSI schools, for the 2024 school year. So as I call your name, would you please stand up? Hillsborough High School, Paul Jackson Elementary, Neely's Bend Elementary, William Henry Oliver Middle, and Hunters Lane High School. And if the EDs are here, please stand. Where are my executive directors? If executive directors, please stand. Let us please acknowledge and recognize and support you. They're acting so bashful. I don't understand. We appreciate you all and the support you provide for our schools every day. And this is pretty hot off the press. We'd like to take an opportunity to recognize and congratulate our current reward schools. And I'm going to ask our reward school principals actually to come up to the front because this is a pretty new one. We haven't had a whole lot of time to acknowledge your work. So again, once I get to your school, if you could come to the front, I greatly appreciate it. Cane Ridge Elementary School. Yeah. Dan Mills Elementary. For the second year in a row, Early College High School. Take your time, Principal Manuel, take your time. Glengarry Elementary. Granbury Elementary. For the third year in a row, Harpeth Valley Elementary. Head Middle School. For the third year in a row, Hume Fogg High School. For the second year in a row, Ida B. Wells Elementary. For the third year in a row, John B. Whitsitt Elementary. John Trotwood Moore Middle. For a second year in a row, Julia Green Elementary. For a third year in a row, Martin Luther King Jr. High School. For a third year in a row, Meigs Middle. Mount View Elementary. For a second year in a row, Nashville School of the Arts. Y'all act like you like each other. Scooch in. Percy Priest Elementary. Rosebank Elementary. Stanford Elementary. Sylvan Park Elementary. And West End Middle School. Please give it up for our 21 reward schools. Okay, principals, I'm going to ask you to get into this little, in the cut, yes. And I would like for us to get just a picture of the principals first. Then we're going to add our school board members, and then we want to add our support hub staff that supports these schools, particularly our executive directors and our various departments. So it's going to be tight, but we love each other, so this is going to work out. So let's take our principal picture first.
She's always taking a picture. Always taking a picture.
All right, board members, what schools are presented? Come and join our principals. All right, please come on up, and anybody else who's ready to report one of these seven schools, come on up. Now, board member say. Are you tired of clapping? Are you tired of clapping? I know I should have told everybody to like warm, like shake them out. So I want to take a personal point of privilege again to congratulate our level 5 schools, our ATSI exit schools, our award schools, and every school who played a part in our three-peat of being a level 5 school district. Every school contributed to that. So again, congratulations and thank you to all of you. So we'll conclude with a couple slides. And, you know, I shared this slide that this is the story of our triumph. Our principals and our support hub leaders worked in advance of these announcements to really claim that this is a story of our triumph and that we were committed to our three-peat as a school district. And so again, this tells a story about the greatness of Nashville Public Schools, the quality of instruction that our students are receiving, and as Tina exhibited in a previous slide, that it is pretty equally and evenly distributed across our student groups. And so we're extremely proud of that, and we look forward to really embarking upon our continuous improvement mindset, which is know where you are, but don't stay there. We are excited, and we will continue to celebrate the progress that has been made. We still have work that we need to do, and we will continue to stay focused on getting that work done. So I wanted to close with a few comments, as we always do, around how the board can support. And they're pretty consistent to continue to advocate for any new accountability models that include TVOS growth as a primary metric for success. Growth matters. Growth matters. And so when you see even your academic magnets be recognized at level 5, that is tremendous. Because we know that with growth comes higher levels of proficiency and achievement. And so we want to commend our schools for demonstrating once again the state's ability to collect significant evidence that our students outperform what was projected in a year's time. We're really excited about that. Also to advocate for any revisions to the letter grade state accountability to include improvement targets and not just absolute success rates. That's highly important. And if you look at any of the research and data, you can just about line up how those letter grades will go based upon the uniqueness and the diversity of the students being served. But again, regardless, our schools are representing extremely well in that space and beating the odds when it comes to what would be predicted for our student outcomes. And then lastly, to continue to celebrate the hard work of our teachers, our staff, and our principals, continue to advocate for funding for curriculum, professional development, and resources for rigorous teaching and learning experiences. And I'll put a bow on it by the integration that we are striving for in our academics and our social emotional learning supports, making sure that all the conditions are set and available for all of our students to thrive on a daily basis. And so with that, Tina, unless you have something else to add, we will conclude the director's report for this evening and turn it back over to you, Vice Chair Navar McKinney.
Thank you so much, Dr. Battle, and congratulations again to all of the schools and everyone that has contributed to making us an advanced district with a level 5 for the 3rd year in a row. So congratulations. Also, I appreciate, Dr. Battle, you giving us our charge on where we can support you, this work, and the district. So with that being said, I'm going to open up for questions. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Board Member Mays.
Yeah, I just want to echo what has already been said and thank every single one of our leaders, administrators, our educators, and especially our clients, our students, because they have put in the hard work to make this happen through under the leadership of some pretty dynamic individuals. And so I can't thank Dr. Battle and her team enough for leading the charge and for providing the guidance that has helped us get here. And y'all, we are making every other district in this state mad at us because we have all the excellence in one location. And I'm so proud to say that. And I thank you all for that. And Dr. Stinson, I was around when Pedro Garcia was around, so I know exactly what you're talking about. So thank you all again. And it does not go unnoticed. We appreciate you more than we could probably ever say to you. So thank you all very much.
Board Member Tyler.
Dr. Battle, can you refresh my memory? How long have you been superintendent?
This is year 6.
Year 6. And now that you got the ball rolling for the last 3 years, what are we seeing under your leadership?
Continuous
Nothing but
improvement.
success. Continuous improvement. So I want to take a moment. I'm so glad that you called out praise to the people who are doing the hard work, the people who are in the trenches, and they desperately need to be recognized for what they're doing, and they're the ones who made it happen. But without the vision of what you set forth in front of them, and without the ability to steer that ship the way that you wanted it to go, that success couldn't have happened. So a lot of these teachers have been here under Pedro Garcia, under a lot of other superintendents, and we weren't seeing this kind of return. And so I think we also need to take a moment and just thank you for your leadership and what you have done to set us on this course that we are on right now. So thank you for your leadership.
And y'all know what I'm getting ready to say. Because we talk about our dream team and being a part of Team MNPS, and you don't achieve these level of results as you shared with Board Member Tyler without a phenomenal team. And so I am grateful to this board. I am grateful to my cabinet. I'm grateful to the support hub team. I mean, to all the educators who show up every day to do what's best for our young people. And as we're moving forward, we'll continue to stay focused, and we'll continue to have to move with a sense of urgency. And as I've shared with my team already, we're so close to representing in every space the greatness, the talents of our students, the effectiveness of our educators, the quality of leadership that we have. I was doing an interview today with a large nationally known educational organization who wanted to inquire about leadership in an urban school district like Nashville Public Schools. And so I'm honored, I'm proud of the work, and this will not be the end of our story, and we will continue to triumph, and we will continue to be clear about why. And so, again, I think the future is so bright. Our North Star is guiding us. We will be the premier large school district in Tennessee and beyond, because that's what our children deserve. So thank you so much for the acknowledgement. Again, thank you for the support from this board, and we're going to keep pushing, and we're going to keep climbing together. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm a little anticlimactic now, but I had one question about, I know you guys have parsed the data and pulled it apart and looked at it in as many different ways you possibly can. In particular, just looking at the 5th grade, where I see that you've already made plans for how you're going to support those students. Is there any way to know, could we tell if the students that were in 5th grade that had already moved back to elementary school, if they showed greater growth than those that were still in middle school? Do we have that particular
Have we sliced the
parsing
data
of
in that way
data?
yet, Tina? I know that's to come for this year. We have historically seen
Yeah.
that there was a positive, there were positive outcomes for students who were in 5th grade in elementary school as opposed to not. But the one thing that I wanted to echo that Dr. Stinson shared was, from a proficiency standpoint, our 5th graders actually increased their level of proficiency at higher rates than almost every grade in almost every tested category. You typically don't see it happen in that direction. So we have a lot of successes that we can grow from. And there's a lot about our most recent configuration that's showing positive implications for 5th grade as we move forward. We know that this is the first year where every 5th grader that's in one of our K-5 schools are in this space. We do have 2 pre-K-8 schools, but every one of our fifth graders now have transitioned into the fifth grade. And so that'll give our teaching and learning team, as well as our executive directors, even more focus, time to accelerate both the achievement and the growth of our students. But we're extremely proud of our fifth graders for their proficiency rates, which really top the charts in our outcomes this year.
Okay, thank you.
Board Member Elrod.
Thank you. So I think we probably all have heard the theory of when you tell people something once or twice, they don't remember it. You have to just tell them over and over and over again. And so to that point, I think my parents, not just my parents, but many parents across the school system are kind of learning what is TVOS, and because they've now heard it for 3 years, and they've heard these individual school pieces of information. And so I would like to know, how do you suggest that we best communicate to parents this type of success? And what do you think, like, what is the easiest definition you think that parents can understand? Because we all live in this world. So when I tell them it's a growth number, they don't totally understand what that means. So do you have suggestions of how we can best advocate also to our parents of the work that their schools have done and what that means for their schools?
So I'll have to work on this a little more, but here's some ways I've described it. If you are a student and you're at the 50th percentile, you're right in the middle, and you stay there the next year, you're going to be essentially contributing to a level 3. If you have a student who's at the 50th percentile and then goes to the 55th percentile, they have grown more than the average student in the state, and they are contributing to our level 5. Or the other way I've put it is like your child's growth charts. You know, you see them, they're 3 feet tall, they grow 3 inches, that's average growth. If they're 3 feet tall and they grow 6 inches, their growth is above average. If they grow at 1 inch, it doesn't mean they didn't grow. It means they didn't grow as fast as everybody else, right? So that is one of the ways I explain it. But it's a whole lot more complicated than that.
And I will say, you hear us a lot talk about a level 5 because that's the highest rating you can get. A3 is what is expected in a year's time, right? So A3 is to be celebrated, a 4 or 5. And there's also lots of successes that you will find in level 1s and 2s as well. And so I know we talk about 5 a lot, but a 3 is just as important as a 5 when it comes to student growth.
Yep, agreed. I have found it really difficult to try to explain it. That level 3 is fine. Level 5 is the highest. There was a lot of confusion, I know, with some parents of, well, why is it a 5? Why isn't it not a 10? I'm like, because not everything's on a 10-point scale, guys. And so I appreciate that. I know that a lot of our families, now that it's been 3 years and they have individual school information, I know there's been a lot of celebrations. They know more about it now, and because they've heard it so many times. So I appreciate the growth chart. I think probably will resonate with some of them as well. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'll just uplift again that 75%. Say that again. They told me my mic wasn't on. So I'll just echo again that 75% of our MNPS schools that generated test scores were either a level 3, 4, or 5. So 2/3 of our schools met that target, and that is significant for us as a large urban school district serving over 80,000 students on a daily basis.
So 3/4 of our schools met or exceeded what we would expect them to do in a year. I'm just repeating again.
That's pretty darn awesome. Board Member Block, would you like me to recognize you?
No, that's all I needed to say.
Anyone else? So first of all, I want to thank Dr. Stinson for promoting me from vice chair to vice president. That sounds real good, and I'll take it. The second thing that I noticed within our data was around the state graduation rate, particularly the category around limited English proficiency. I saw that number has been really, really low, and we have had a huge jump where we are now at 70.9%. I know it's not where we need to be, and we'll continue to work on that area. But have you found what has been working to increase that percentile right there with that particular subpopulation of students? Dr. Battle?
Dr. Simpson, please.
I cannot say that I have the magic answer there, other than a whole lot of work. I think we would want to get Executive Director Hegwood here to talk about the various initiatives that she has. I know it has been, a lot of work, a lot of promotion of the value of a high school diploma, of post-secondary, of, the scholarships that we have, but that's probably not everything, and I'm not qualified to speak on that.
Thank you. I just want to, acknowledge that is a lot of work put into that to see those numbers increase in the way that they have, and to celebrate that. And as Dr. Battle always says, know where you are and continue to improve or continue to get, but don't stay there. I messed that all up. But same concept, that we're really going to continue to work on that.
Look, everybody corrected you.
Right.
Dang, got me straight. So I appreciate the hard work that has gone into increasing those numbers there. And then there was another question. Nope, that was it. Thank you so much. If there are no other questions, we're going to move on. We do not have anyone on for public participation, so we're going to move on to the consent agenda. Would anyone like to adopt the consent agenda?
I'll move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
All right, so it is first by Board Member Young and second by Board Member Mays. All of those in approval, raise your hand. Unanimous approval. And we will move on to, no board reports. All right. We'll move on to announcements. Starting with District 1.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I only have two announcements. One is really just an encouragement to anybody who's watching. Parents, we need you engaged in our schools. Our PTOs and PTAs are ready for you all to step up and be involved. And so I want to encourage parents to find out who their PTO or PTA president is. And if there isn't one at your school, think about volunteering to do so. And make sure that you get involved in your child's education in that way as well. And then the other announcement is a personal announcement. I just want to give a shout out to my wife, Adjournment, who is graduating from nursing school this Thursday. And so thank you all. And so we're really excited about that. She has done a lot to support our family, to support me being here with you all each night in the evening. For those that don't know, we have 7 kids at home. And so managing that household can be challenging, especially with a public servant in the house. And so I just want to say thank you, Adjournment. I love you. I appreciate you. And congratulations on graduating from nursing school.
District 2.
Thank you so much. Wanted to add to kind of the awards and recognitions. Special Olympics Nashville recently had their what they call Nashville Bowling event, which includes all of our elementary, middle, and high school students that are participating within Special Olympics. So thank you to Tusculum Strike and Spare for having all of those students. I think there was over 170 elementary school students that participated. They were having a big time. I showed up, and they were loving it, and way better at bowling than I am, by the way. So I really appreciate the work that's been put into that with our EE teachers that have put those clubs together, put those groups together, whether in middle school, high school, or of course, elementary school. And also big thanks to Hume Fogg. Their students and faculty volunteered for Harris Hillman. Harris Hillman had a whole day just for themselves at Tusculum Strike and Spare so they could participate. So thank you so much.
District 3. District 5. Pass. District 6.
I'm not passing because you know I got something to say. Okay, so just really quickly, I wanted to first of all since we're celebrating, send a congratulations out to all of the winter's graduates from the Simon Youth Foundation schools, the Academy at Cockrell, Old Cockrell, the Academy at Hickory Hollow, and the Academy at Opry Mills, who all graduated today. So they had some tremendous graduation celebrations, and that is what I live for. I absolutely adore seeing those young people graduate and hearing the cheers from the parents. So congratulations to all of the 2024 winter graduates. You did a well done, well done. And also, I want to take an opportunity to acknowledge the passing of a dear friend to the Nashville community and Fisk in particular. The poet Nikki Giovanni passed away yesterday. She was a native Tennessean. She was a Fiskite, and Robert will appreciate that. Social justice advocate, poet, and author. And she was also the 2024 keynote speaker for MLK Day, and she was fabulous. I am absolutely honored to have been able to share space and have a conversation with this fabulous lady when she was in Nashville, albeit during a snowstorm. But she's a tremendous loss to our society as a whole. And so I send my condolences to Nikki Giovanni and her family and friends, and especially to those of us who had the opportunity to know her and meet with her and speak with her. So, and finally, because we won't see you until after, so Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to each and every one of you. And I hope your holidays are filled with joy, love, peace, and happiness. That's it. Thank you.
District 7. District 8.
That's me. I just want to take a second to congratulate again all of the schools, the district. As Dr. Stinson said, I've also been around a minute at the state level when the district was not in the position the district is in today. It is remarkable. It is truly remarkable, and just super grateful for all of the work everyone in this room does, and everywhere in all of our schools.
District 8, or 9, sorry.
I got a couple great things to report back upon. Lawson's culinary team won second place in the GNHA Hospitality Championship Series. They were tasked with creating a delicious dish using cheddar Pringles, goldfish crackers, chicken thighs, shredded cheese, and date syrup. And y'all, it looked amazing. I didn't get to taste it, but I saw the pictures and it looked, you would think, right? No, but it looked amazing. So I'm so proud of their culinary team. So way to go, Lawson's culinary team. And in the most recent 2024 Youth Debate Challenge, also from Lawson High School, Chaz Covington and Ethan Oakley went undefeated to rank as the #1 American team.
Okay.
They advanced to the final championship where they then faced off against the #1 Chinese team and they earned second place overall. So I'm just so proud of how well Chaz and Ethan represented Lawson and MNPS on the international debate stage. So well done, Lawson High School. Keep it up.
That's awesome.
And then on that note, we have senior board member.
All right. I also wanted to shout out Ethan Oakley and Chaz Covington. As the captain of the debate team at Lawson, I am so incredibly proud of them. And also because I am, Ethan's girlfriend. Speaking of debates, our last semester tournament is this Saturday at Hunter's Lane, so show up if you can. I also wanted to give, I wanted to give an extensive report on my tutoring program at HD Hill. However, I do want to keep it a little short, but I did want to shout out, obviously, Ms. Tyler, Dr. Jones, who was here, and Ms. Cara, because this wouldn't have been possible without them. Every Thursday, we come in, like a few of us, Lawson students, come in to tutor 8th graders in groups of 2 to 3. We tutor one core subject, and it's amazing seeing how passionate they are to learn. And I also wanted to report that most students have had their grades improve in the core subject they were taught. So I'm really happy with that because we only get 15 minutes with them a week. But despite that, they're super passionate. They've made the tutors super passionate. And I think really continuing this, symbiotic relationship would really be helpful to both them and us. And I also wanted to, lastly, I did want to wish everyone good luck on their exams and a happy winter break.
All right. So we'll follow up again. Board Member Mays had mentioned it, but congratulations again to all of our winter graduates with the, I was able to attend the Academy of Opry Mills graduation. Great graduation, and congratulations to all of our winter graduates. I do want to announce that we do not have a board meeting December the 24th, which is Christmas Eve. I'm okay with being here, but, my colleagues may not be okay. So we will not have a board member meeting on December 24th, but we will resume at our next board meeting on January the 14th.
Which means that Zach and Robert have to attend 2 meetings a month starting in January.
Yes.
I forgot I have. Well, I'll wait. I have something to say.
Oh,
okay.
So our next board meeting will be January the 14th, so please mark your calendars accordingly. And then last but not least, did our MNPS song get nominated for an Emmy?
Oh, it did. It did.
Or a Grammy? Yeah.
No,
Grammy, Emmy.
It was the Emmy. It was the film. It was the film of creating
The
song.
film
So
was
Emmy,
nominated for an Emmy.
We're so proud of our Every Student Known students who are now 2-time Emmy nominated for the Every Student Known documentary. So we'll be attending the Regional Emmy award ceremony in February at Belmont University to get our trophy.
I know that's
Awesome. Yay. And then one other thing that we missed, if I'm not mistaken, it was Chief Sullivan's birthday this week.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. It was yesterday, right? And Ashford was on Sunday, so happy birthday. And if there is no other announcements,
I got one more thing.
we're not allowed to backtrack. No, I'm just messing. Go ahead. Go ahead. We got board member.
I don't really know how I forgot to talk about this, but since everyone else put a personal accolade out there, I think I'll give one. And again, I'm super biased, so, hear me out. It is. But it's also about his teammates as well. So we had signing day last week, and we had 3 of our seniors, star players, sign at Pearl Cone, my son being one of them. Javion Kennard is going to Colorado State. Donovan Higgins is going to Let's see, where is Donovan going? It's on the tip of my tongue. I'll circle back when I think about it. But Kyla Garcia will be attending Indiana University, early graduate. I will be taking him there in a few weeks, so y'all pray for me and check on me. But super congratulations to all three of those young men. They work super duper hard on and off the field. Kyler and Donovan are top three in their class. We'll be celebrating number one next week with Josh, who won, what award was that? Hume Award. Huge. I think that's 2 years in a row for Pearl. But again, I'm biased. But congratulations and thank you to those boys and the staff and team members there.
I hate to do this because I don't want to forget anybody, but I also want to give a shout out to Kamora Lee Williams, John Overton High School senior, who announced that she is signing with the University of South Carolina to run track next school year.
Yeah, and just really quickly, since we won't reconvene until after these events start, I just want to share with everybody that our annual Nashville MLK Day events, our week of events will start on January 12th and run through January 20th. This year's keynote speaker is Dr. Daniel Black, and some of you may know him as the amazing keynote speaker with Clark Atlanta University. He will be our keynote speaker for MLK Day Convocation on January 20th, and we are looking forward to that. You can find additional information on all of the events on our website at NashvilleMLKDay.com.
Be there no further business. We are going to adjourn. Happy holidays and have a wonderful winter break.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.